Good morning, dear aspirant. To start with today's news, Indian star tortoise. So this comes under GS3 biodiversity. So the Indian star tortoise is a sight to behold with its obsidian shell actually. That is a unique thing. And yellow star patterns. You can see here. This is something... this is a star type of pattern. That is a unique thing. It is a herbivorous also. It is found in northwest India, particularly in South India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. The IUCN status is vulnerable under Appendix 1 of CITES, and it is located in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. There is if any species comes in news, all you need to know the IUCN status and which schedule it is there in under Wildlife Protection Act. The increasing demand for them as pets has entangled them in one of the largest global wildlife trafficking networks. So, and there are so much of conservation efforts have been taken, like the 18th conference of parties to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. Indian star tortoise was uplisted to Appendix 1 from Appendix 2, which means Appendix 2 from it requires a huge protection. NATO. This comes under GS2 international organization. So Donald Trump's call for an immediate ceasefire in Russia's war with Ukraine, and the president renewed warnings that he was open to pulling the US out of NATO. NATO is a North Atlantic alliance, which is a political alliance as well as a military alliance established in 1949 through the treaty called North Atlantic Treaty, otherwise called Washington Treaty. It was formed during the Cold War to provide collective defense against external threats, primarily the Soviet Union. So originally Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, UK, US. The membership has expanded over the years to 31 nations. Headquarters is located in Brussels, Belgium. The purpose is collective defense. Article 5 of the NATO treaty states that an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. And the crisis management, they respond to conflict and natural disasters, and they promote stability partnerships globally. Structure is the NAT Council is there, North Atlantic Council is a principal decision making, and militaries commands like they oversee the operation, funded by all the member countries. The largest contributing country is US. Finland joined in 2023 and Sweden is in the process of accession. Fiscal deficit. So CII suggested that government stick to the fiscal deficit target of 4.9% of GDP for 2024-2025 and 4.5% for 2025-26. So fiscal deficit refers to the shortfall in a government's revenue when compared to its expenditure. When a government's expenditure exceeds its revenue, the government will have to borrow money or sell assets to fund the deficit. Taxes are the most important source of revenue for any government. When a government runs a fiscal surplus, on the other hand, its revenue exceeds expenditure. It is, however, quite rare for governments to run a surplus. Fiscal deficit is expenditure minus total receipt, that is excluding borrowings by the government. Revenue means total revenue receipt minus total revenue expenditure. Debt to GDP means it measures how much a nation owes in relation with respect to GDP. Debt to GDP means total debt of a country by total GDP of the country. Try to answer this question. What is the formula for calculating fiscal deficit? Under which schedule of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is the Indian star tortoise listed? and try to answer this mains question. Discuss the implications of maintaining a controlled fiscal deficit on economic growth in India and analyze the challenges faced by the government in achieving fiscal consolidation while addressing development priorities. So we have introduced a test series, which is a revolution in test series, because we included maximum number of tests, that is 100 tests, and that includes previous year question, India yearbook, budget, economic survey, current affairs test, etc. Thank you. Have a great day. If you have any queries, feel free to contact this number.